Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to the Jeremy Scott Fitness Podcast Radio Show, coming to you on this Sunday, December the 3rd, 2023. Hopefully it finds you staying safe and staying sweaty all at the same time. Quick hitter today for you, just something to listen to when you do mobility, when you're on your walk, your ruck, your run, avoiding work at your real job. Or just something that you put on to light a fire under your ass, if that is what you take from this. But the episode, number 567 times we've done this. And we're talking about nothing happens until you get pissed. This is a play off of two different little articles that Thomas Plummer had threw out a while back on, I think, Facebook, actually. And I just screenshotted them. I stuck them on my phone, and I'm here to share them with you all today because I think it's fitting for some people. And just to reiterate a message that stands the test of time. If you guys are familiar with Dave Ramsey, he talks about this a lot in terms of just debt, spending habits, and how people fall into kind of a poor cycle with money. And basically, he just says, you're sick and tired of being sick and tired. I think we feel that in the health and fitness space, in the financial space. I talk about them both a lot. They do kind of mirror each other. And that's the takeaway message today, except I'm going to give it to you in terms of the physical body, and I'll touch on a couple of other quick things as well. But reminder before we kick off, one, Jeremy Scott Fitness app is live and rocking. You guys know that. They're in week 3 of the microdosing mobility right now. JeremyScottFitness.app. You guys will get a week for free if you want to try it. Weekly workouts in there, updated every single Sunday. Full programs. I think we have 12 or 13 full programs in there, ranging anywhere from 30 days to all the way up to 10 weeks, depending on what you want to do, your ability level, what you're into. There's 1,000 other videos on top of there, nutritional content, and everything under the sun. We do have a busy adults program that we're dropping in there probably in January or maybe even before. The program's already done, so we could honestly I just need to review it, and then that'll be live in there as well. 47-day transformation kicking off in January, which is a premium option that you guys could purchase and go through. That is our flagship program. We'll coach you every step of the way. But if you want to get in the app and you want somebody to talk to, you can message us or reply to every message inside of there. We have a great Facebook community as well outside of the app if you guys want to be involved in that. And again, if you just want to go to the gym and have some direction, we'll give you a week for free. You can stand for a couple of pennies. We've put so much stuff into that. I think it's a steal for the price that we ask. So JeremyScottFitness.app, and that is in the show notes for you guys. All our other sponsors are in the show notes too. And just a quick shout out to our friends at AG1. Again, you guys know it's the one thing I take every single day and I never miss. It's the best tasting of all of the drinks out there you could take. It's the easiest health hack that I do. It replaced my multivitamin 7 years ago. There's prebiotics in it. There's probiotics in it, digestive enzymes, magnesium, B vitamins for energy, adaptogens, vitamin C, zinc, you name it, for immune health. If you want a free sample, maybe you've heard other people talk about Athletic Greens in the past and AG1 now, hit me up. We will send you a free sample right to your front door. I don't care what state, country, province you live in. We'll get you a free sample. You can try it. I don't care what year you're listening to this. If I'm still alive, we're probably still working with these guys because they've been great to us for 7 years. And it just tastes the best. And I never make an excuse not to take it. And I'm happy to get it in your hands so you can try it before you buy it. And then if you want to make the investment, what we'll do is if you guys use the link we have, it's just drinkag1.com/Jeremy Scott. We'll give you a year's supply of free vitamin D and 5 free travel packs with your first order. That's my gift to you guys. So on top of the free sample, I'm getting you guys a free supply of vitamin D for a year, which you should already be taking, and 5 free travel packs. And the travel packs go with me every single place that I go. So if you're looking for something to help your immune health, cover the gaps in your nutrition, get your micronutrients up, an easy ritual you can do in the morning, before bed, before you eat dinner. This is what I would do, and that's why I do it every single day. I take the travel packs with me, and I typically take those each day too. We do have a huge container in the fridge where we can just do a scoop and throw it in some water, but I'm a fan of the travel packs personally. So hit me up for a free sample. Otherwise, pick up all the stuff today at drinkag1.com/Jeremy Scott, and you're good to go. All the other sponsors in the show notes. sleeves sold separately. My friends at JLab Pro and everybody else, you guys, if you want the supplements that we take, the clothes that we wear, the companies that we work with, Dry Farms Wines, everybody else, it's in the notes for you today. But I'm not going to waste your time. I got stuff to do, and I know you guys got stuff to do as well. So before we jump right into it, I did watch the Bye Bye Barry documentary on Amazon Prime yesterday. If you guys have never seen it, it's about an hour and a half. It's well worth it. If you guys know who Barry Sanders is, which if you're a human, I'm assuming you do, in my opinion, the greatest running back of all time, hands down. There's a lot of great guys. I know Emmitt Smith has the rushing record for the world. Walter Payton had it before that, but if you gave me a draft of all the running backs who have ever lived, prime for prime, Barry Sanders would be my dude. Just they did uh, a great job putting that together. And again, there's so many people in it. Tim Allen's in it, Eminem's in it, Jeff Daniels, all Jalen Rose, all these diehard Detroit fans. Because obviously, if you didn't know, Barry Sanders played for the Detroit Lions his whole career, which kind of sad in a sense. He got stuck there in an organization that's historically never been good, and still managed to be just the greatest of all time. And just how he ran, you've never seen anything like it before. If you grew up in my era, you knew when you watched him, it was just something different. Just how strong, how fast, the agility, the way he could change directions, make grown men fall on the ground, like the best of the best. Like he's doing that to the best guys in the world. Just unreal, just to see him. And the most humble athlete of all time. And there's not even a close second. Like this dude didn't give a shit about any records, even as a high schooler, not in college, didn't give a shit about winning the Heisman, never celebrated after scoring touchdowns, every single time just hands the ball to the ref, never rubs it in people's faces, just the epitome of a guy who just wants to play from, whistle to whistle, doesn't give a shit about interviews, doesn't care about being famous, in fact, shies away from it, and just wants to play the game because that's who he is, and doesn't have to tell you how great he is because you can just watch him. It's a great 90 minutes if you want to spend it and watch something that's, if you like football, it's for you. But just see somebody who lives their life a certain way, super admirable, and just somebody who's so fucking good, man. Just so good and so talented, and works extremely hard. It's a motivating thing to watch. So Bye Bye Barry is the name of it. It's on Amazon Prime if you guys want to check it out. So I had to throw it out there because it was good. I watched it yesterday, and then I went to dinner. Shout out to our team here, Heather and Monica and Brian. We took them out to dinner. Had a great time, and then I could finish the documentary after that. So well worth it, everybody. Your 90 minutes. I don't get to watch a lot of stuff. I've been trying more as I've gotten older to unplug from work shit because you realize it doesn't fucking matter at the end of the day. Email's an email, call's a call, text a text. Like it'll get replied to when it gets replied to. So trying to have some escapism and watch some things that are entertaining, but also educational and inspiring at the same time. And I think that covers all the bases. But these two notes from Thomas Plummer, who's a guy who's been in our space for a long time, kind of a coach of coaches, very, cut to the chase, down to earth guy, kind of no punches pulled, no bullshit stuff. I read through these and I thought they were great, and I wanted to share them with you guys. So these are his words, but I thought they were powerful, especially if you have a friend or family member, maybe a mom, your dad, or siblings who just aren't taking their health seriously enough, or they don't appreciate it enough, maybe. And take it from me, I've been super healthy with no issues at times, and I've been less healthy with issues at times. And as you get older, genetics, life, wear and tear, things just they do start to stack up, and you have to really fight against them. I'm living proof of that. I think everybody listening here knows that as well. It's just not magically going to get better. I had this conversation the other day with a group of our guys here who are, a little bit older than me, mid 40s, 50s, in that kind of, 44 to 58 age range, if you will. And I'm walking them through a lot of the protocols here to just alleviate, lower back pain and open up the hips and work on the adductors and just see where your ankle mobility is at and some of the articulation stuff we can do with rolling and just some almost corrective exercise, if you will, like pain management. And we're just sitting there talking like how we build in mobility into our groups here, and it becomes a part of our day. And it's become more accepted here than it used to be, obviously, because as I age, our demo tends to age, and this is shit you should be doing in your 20s. You should be doing tissue work, massage, recovery, foam rolling, active rest days, full-on rest days in your 20s. And a lot of people don't. And we were having a conversation of, if you think it's magically going to get better, you're living in a dream world, Like, as you get older, your tissue is not magically going to become more pliable. You're not going to be more mobile. You're not going to be more flexible. You're not naturally going to have better aerobic endurance or become stronger as you get older. There's a point of diminishing returns for most people, and that's probably after the age of 25. You don't see a lot of dudes in the NBA my age. I mean, LeBron is one of one. He's one of never going to fucking happen again. It's the rare of the rare. Genetics, luck, timing, God, the universe, unicorn tears, whatever you want to call it, that shit is not real. And you're not LeBron. You know what I'm saying? Like, and even for him, he spends $1 million a year on his body. And is just a freak of freaks, uncommon amongst uncommon men. And that's kind of the point I'm driving at here today with this entire message is you have to fight against it. You have to put yourself in a position to be successful. You have to put yourself in a position to not be hurt, not be injured. And when things do happen and come your way, whether it be internal or external health stuff as you age, hopefully you can deal with it a little bit better and fight it off better because you're healthy, in shape, and fit. You don't want your body to become this, tight, sore, stiff, wooden concrete block of shit with all these external and internal, issues, joint issues, lack of strength, lack of mobility, and lack of endurance. Because again, it does not get easier, my friends. As you age, it is going to get harder. And I think if you really think about yourself, whatever prime you is or was overall, compared to what it is today, things will diminish. But you can keep a lot of strength. You can keep your endurance. You can have a great, aerobic capacity. You can have awesome tissue quality. You can have healthy joints, and you can feel good and have awesome range of motion and be flexible until you die, if you put the time in. And the note from Plummer is this: if I told you a few years ago you would end up in a wheelchair, would you finally admit sitting on a couch all evening is basically killing you? If I told you your looks and sexuality are fading decades earlier than they would have, would you stop telling me you can't afford a coach and admit how you live is aging you faster and harder than you can confess? And side note, I think that's a lot of people. If you're not willing to invest in your health, your fitness, what you eat, what you drink, I'm not saying you got to hire us as a coach or buy our app or do any of these things, but you probably need something. If you don't do that, you're going to age faster. If you look at someone who's 40, 50 years ago, obviously we're not healthy now, Americans, in terms of our body, but if you look at somebody who's 40, 50 years ago, they look like your grandma and grandpa. You know what I'm saying? And then you look at the people now who give a fuck, who are 40 and 50 and 60, it's like, wow. It's aged them down because they've taken care of themselves. And if I told you you'll be dead by the time your daughter graduates college and you'll never see your 3 grandkids, would you finally stop bragging about how eating bad food never really hurts you? If someone guesses your age and it's 15 years older than you are, would you consider maybe just walking for an hour a day and maybe getting some help through a real coach, a real trainer, and a real program? What if I told you by the time you're 50, you'll be on at least 8 different medications and your quality of life will diminish? Would you finally admit your lifestyle is killing you? But if you start today, you might change everything. Food for thought. When you pick up your granddaughter, or what if you're to the point where you're someone who has grandkids or you have kids, but because you're too immobile, because you're too big, and you're only 45, you can't really do those things? Would you ever admit that saying these stupid, insanely things like, "Oh, I can kind of drink and eat what I want. It really doesn't affect me that much." These things do. And there's people that we have heard for years say things like, "I don't need a professional coach. I don't need a trainer. I don't need a community. I don't need any help. I can burn the same number of calories each week just avoiding fitness as I would going to the gym." For most people, that's not true. And if you keep looking at the things you eat, the things you drink, and these fitness opportunities that we provide people as a cost versus an investment, it's going to cost you the best years of your life. If you don't start today doing some of the things you need to do, it's going to cost you the best years of your life, which is right now. Because if you're waking up every day and you're tired, exhausted, stressed, and sick, and if that's because of your lifestyle habits, a lot of those things you can change. Now, again, admittedly, some days I wake up tired. Some days I wake up exhausted. Some days they're not great. I go, but that's just life. But I promise you, I feel better than most days because of the things I put in place. And I'll ask everybody this. If you've ever had an older friend or a relative, and we've all had them, dying in a hospital, some of it may be the habits that they put in place. Some of it's just shitty fucking luck, man. Like, we've had some friends who are healthy people who have been dealt some really shitty fucking hands, and I hate to see it, and it's sad and it's depressing. And admittedly, it's put a damper on my year. Watching people around us get sick just for, I don't know how you describe it. You know, if you ever could meet if you believe in God or the universe or whatever your thing is, if you could ask a question like why, you know, why do some of these things happen to good people? Shitty fucking luck, man, is all I can really say. And we've all had that. An older friend, family member who's in the hospital dying. If you ask that person, what would they give for their health? For one more day? For one more Christmas? For one more run in the park? For one more just healthy experience with the people they love? They would give everything for it. Because without it, your quality of life sucks. And without it, you don't have a life. And you're not even here. And at that point, if you actually have those conversations with people, would you finally admit that what you're doing is not putting you in a position to be successful? And would you finally admit that you can control a lot of how you age, and you can control a lot about your quality of life through healthy eating, through not abusing drugs and alcohol, and through being active, some type of fitness practice? If you stopped lying to yourself, would you admit you lie in bed at night being sad because of how you move, how you feel? And maybe that's even sometimes how you look, because you've ignored your own health for so long. And you kept saying, tomorrow I'll eat better. Tomorrow I'll stop drinking as much. And you kept kicking the can down the road to the point of where it's almost like you can't get it back at this point. But you can. If I told you there is life through fitness, there is life through eating better, there is life through not abusing drugs and alcohol and making it a focal point of each and every day of your life, if you can commit to just moving around more and taking better care of yourself, you can live a fucking badass, active, healthy, sexy, amazing life damn near into your final years. Would you listen to me then? Or is a life of inactivity, no energy, being stressed, being overweight, and being miserable a life that you really want. A life where you merely just kind of watch others while you can only watch, while they go out and achieve and dream and do the things that you want to do. If I told you every day you make a choice to live, you make a choice to either help yourself or hurt yourself through a lifestyle where there is less of a future and no outcome but a walker and a wheelchair and no quality of life, would you realize that what you're doing to yourself is not working? Now, I throw all that out there because there's a lot of people we meet who initially early on, when they're just in the early inquiring phase, something happened to them, something sparked them, or they saw something and it motivated them, or maybe it's vanity driven. And I have nothing against doing fitness to look good naked. I'm a fan of that. But the people we see be the most successful are the ones who can do it from the inside out. They want to move better and feel better and internally be a healthy person. And then the byproduct is obviously they start to look a certain way. But recently, as I talked to my old man, probably 2 weeks ago for the first time in a long time, and just talking about how a lot of the people around him, are dying, and friends of his in high school, and some of the people in our neighborhood, there's older, like in hospice or getting health care. And my dad is 65, and just it struck me the other day when I'm at the grocery store, and there's this super old couple. The guy was driving and the wife was in there, and they had to be in their, probably mid 80s. And I the first time I really thought to myself, like in a real way, like you always, like we all know this. And I thought to myself, like, fuck, if I'm lucky enough to be 85, hopefully I'm this guy, and he's not moving super fast, and he's getting out of his car. They're going to pick up some things. And I'm like, what a baller. This 85-year-old dude can still drive his own car. He can still get his own groceries, and he's there with his wife, pretty fucking lucky, man. And I think early on in your life, you think you'll never be there. But if you're lucky, you are there. And that's what I mean. It's like time is going so fast. At least that seems like it is for me now. Like the last 10 years went faster than the 10 years before. And I'm like, fuck, man, I'm closer to this dude than I am to, teenage me, if you will. And it's pretty daunting and it's eye-opening. And obviously I do this for a living, so I value health and fitness and how I eat. And I'm hyper aware of all the things that go on in my life and go into my body, and I do the best I can with what I have. But a lot of people won't make a change until they're so sick and so tired, and sometimes until it's too late. But the saying goes, nothing changes if nothing changes. Nothing changes until you get pissed. Nothing really changes in your life until you get so fucking fed up, you just say, fuck it, I got no choice, I gotta go all in. Or I gotta at least start now and start putting in some work. No weight is ever really lost until you get mad enough at whom you are today to really force that change. Unless you're mad, unless you are just pissed off, you're accepting. And nothing changes when you constantly give yourself permission to be lesser than the version of who you're supposed to be. This works in all arenas of life, you guys. No failing business ever changes until you get so fucking mad or scared enough to really ask for help or forecast what you're supposed to do for the future. You either have to be mad enough or scared enough or afraid enough to ask for help. And we do see people in the health and fitness space where there was a health scare or somebody in their family had one, and boom, that snapped them into it. And I think the biggest lie people tell themselves, in a failing business is that, someone other than you is responsible for what's happening. And I think that's the same for, a lot of things in life where we want to play the victim and play the blame game. And sometimes shitty things happen to good people. That is true. in a lot of other instances, we want to blame somebody else for what is happening. And if it isn't working, we can get mad at somebody else. But really, it's the person in the mirror that needs to fix it. And at the end of the day, for most of us, that's the only person who can fix it. Nobody's coming to save us. There is no safety net. I don't got a golden fucking parachute. My mom and dad aren't rich. You know what I'm saying? Like, there is no magic money waiting for me at the end of the fucking rainbow. I got to make it. I have to do it. I have to put myself in a position to be wherever I want to be. And an unhealthy body can get fixed. Poor eating habits can get fixed. Any business can be fixed if the fucking owners are really down for change. That works in your physical body. It works in your finances. It works in your business. You know, I don't know all your marital issues or your relationship issues, but a lot of times those can be fixed too. No bad relationship will take another course until one partner says, enough. We can't keep living this way. We can't keep quietly wasting our life away being miserable and accepting things that are unacceptable. We have to make a change. That's how most relationships go on and things get fixed. This is for everything. You never get wasted years back. You never get the wasted years back, my friends. But if you're not changing something, you're choosing something. I've talked about this before on here. If you made a choice to stay miserable, that's a bad choice. If you make a choice to stay in a shitty relationship for year after year after year, that's a bad choice. If you make a decision to eat fucking garbage and feed your body trash and drink booze way more than you should, and you do that repeatedly, that's a bad choice. No bad habits end until you get so pissed and disgusted at yourself that you change. And you understand now that the change becomes the only option you have left. Bad habits, over time, will negate a wonderful life owned by you. And you won't change until you get mad enough at yourself to force the change. Or if you get scared enough to, or you find a fork in the road where it's like, well, either this business will fail, this marriage will fail, or my body, my heart, my liver, my kidneys, whatever it is, will fail because of what I've done. And you can't look around the room and compare to everybody else because we've been down this road here with me before. Comparison's the thief of joy. It doesn't fucking matter what other hand somebody else has dealt. You got your cards. You got to play them the best you can. So compare yourself to nobody else. The question is, at the end of the day, guys, in anything you do, whatever you care about and whatever you're good at, you probably put time into it. If you really think about it. If you give a shit about your career, you probably put time into it. If you give a shit about your marriage, you probably put time into it. If you give a shit about your kids, you probably put time into them. If you care about your health and fitness, mobility, your strength, your endurance, you probably put time into it. The question is, are you being the best version of who you can be right now? And now, is every day a PR? Is every day, the greatest day ever? Are you always going to crush your, business goals? Are you always going to have the greatest day with your husband or wife or your partner? No, you're not. I go, but in the season of life you're in, are you being the best version of who you can be? If the answer is no, then you can change it. If you're not willing to change it, you are choosing it over and over and over again. So if the answer is no, I'm not living up to my potential. No, I'm not being the best partner I can be. I'm not being the best father or wife or son or business owner or workout partner or financial advisor or whatever the fuck your thing is. If the answer is no, you can change it. But that only happens when you get so pissed at yourself, you're going to accept nothing but a higher fucking standard for the rest of your life. That's it. But for most of us, we just got to get pissed. Or we have to get so sick and tired of being sick and tired, we actually make a change. And that can be with your finances. That can be with your career. That can be with your physical body. It can be with every single arena of your life if you just zoom out for a second and apply it that way. That's all today's message is, you guys. It's obviously I do it from a health and fitness perspective because I do think it's important. And even if you exercise every day, there's probably some things you're missing. And I'm not saying you have to dedicate your life to fitness because Lord knows there's There's way more important things on this earth than sets and fucking reps, but you can walk every day. You can do that. You can do some basic mobility drills every single day. You can do a couple push-ups. You can do a couple squats. You can try to get good sleep. You can give a shit about what goes into your body, and you can, look at your blood work, and you can get a good physician if you believe in that stuff and see what can help you and put you in a good place. But you have to try. And all this is just really some self-reflection, asking yourself, like, am I doing everything I can do to put myself in a position to move better, to feel better, and just to be happy each and every day? And again, am I happy every day? Fuck no. Is every day easy for me? No. Is it all sunshine and rainbows? Far from it. There's days where I'm sad, I'm depressed, I have stress, I have anxiety, I'm tight, I'm sore, I'm stiff. You fucking name it. I'm a human being. We all go through the gamut of that stuff. I just try to do the best I can with the hand I'm dealt each and every day, and I try to take some positives away from every day. And if there's things in my life that are not going good, and some of those I can control, some of those I can't control, but the ones I can control, I'm not willing to accept anything less than my best effort. Now, it doesn't always mean the results will land exactly where I want them to, how I want them to do, but I know if I just wake up every day and I consistently just work my fucking ass off to improve the things that are not great in my life, over time, consistently, they're going to get better, because I'm not willing to accept, feeling like shit, or being sad, or being in a bad financial spot, or having a failing business, or having a shitty marriage, whatever it is. I get pissed enough at myself to accept nothing but a higher standard in my life. And I would urge all of you to take that with you this week in everything you do. If you really sit back and audit and see, hey, I've been accepting some bullshit in my fucking life, and I'm not willing to moving forward. So I have to have the conversation with my partner. I have to have the talk at my job. I have to look myself in the mirror and be like, you know what? You're not where you want to be physically because of the things that you've been doing. So again, get pissed off enough, you guys, and don't accept anything less than your best in anything in your life. No matter what season you're in, hold yourself to a higher standard. If you can do that consistently, it'll turn a lot of the shitty things around real quick. At least that's been my experience, and I think it'll be the same for you. That's my quick rant for the day. Whoever needed to hear it, hopefully it helped. As always, if you guys want to try a free trial of the Jeremy Scott Fitness app, jeremyscottfitness.app, links in the show notes. You guys get a week for free on me. I put a lot of time, effort, energy into that to make it the best platform I can to help you guys. If you have questions about it, please just ask. I'm happy to help. If you want a free sample of AG1, hit me up. I'll mail it right to your front door. You can try it and then get hooked up with all the free stuff from there. Other than that, have an awesome rest of the week. If you're on Spotify, drop it a 5-star. I would appreciate the review. It helps us selfishly. If you want to drop us a Google review, because this podcast has helped you, we appreciate that. If you guys want to be thrown in the newsletter, hit me up. I'm happy to add you on there. We send out 3 emails a week every week, and I've done that for over 13 years. And then if you're on Apple Podcasts, of course, drop it a comment, leave a 5-star. It can be as simple as Jeremy podcast good, or thanks, or whatever it is. It doesn't take more than 30 seconds. And if you listen to this podcast for 567 episodes and never left a review, we'd appreciate one. It would be we'll call it even at that point. So if you're watching on YouTube, thank you guys. Jeremy Scott Fitness YouTube page. We're loading new stuff on there each and every week. And most likely I'll be back here next weekend. I got a busy week here, but I'll do the best I can with what I can, and we'll give you guys a handful of episodes here before the year ends. So I appreciate you guys as always for the support. Just be sick and tired of being sick and tired, and get fed up with the bullshit in your life, and just put your best foot forward, man. That's all I can do. And I try to lead by example the best way I can. And I try to be as real with you guys as possible. And I just try to hold myself to a higher standard than anybody else would. And it's worked out so far. And you guys can do the same. If you're listening to this, you already give a shit, and you already give a fuck about your life. So just keep pushing forward. Give yourself some grace, and just know there's far more for you in the windshield than there is in the rear view. Don't let any of that old bullshit weigh you down and hold you back. It's an anchor that's too heavy to carry. Just drop that shit, learn from the mistakes, keep moving forward, and you guys will be all right. Have an amazing rest of your Sunday or whenever you guys listen to this. And until next time, eat well, train hard, be nice to people, and please, you guys, keep doing shit you love with people you enjoy because your life is too short not to. I'll talk to you soon. Peace.